When the time comes, and it's gonna happen, when the time comes where you have to begin telling the toxic and narcissistic person in your life no, you're gonna tell them no. Yeah, you better be ready. They don't appreciate that, don't like that one bit, don't like it at all, especially coming from you. So strap in and be ready for the BS. Loved ones, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you so much. For those of you joining for the very first time, I go by the name of Biz, and I'm very happy to see you and I appreciate you. Let's jump right into the topic today. I want to talk about what you should anticipate when you come to the point in the connection where you're tired of it, where you're ready to make a change, you're ready to break free, you're ready to be heard, you're ready to take back what's yours. Like when the time comes for you to begin telling the toxic and narcissistic person in your life no, you got to be ready for what comes with that. So I want to talk about that. Once you go through the phases with the toxic and narcissistic person in your life and you kind of get used to it, like it's this roller coaster ride that you're on. After a while, it kind of feels like you get numb to it, and they show you these little mini flashes. They show you these mini like toxic little explosions that remind you of how you felt during the love bomb. Because you're just now in a place where you're starting to realize that the love bomb is a form of manipulation. Like it's a sickness, it's an illness, it's darkness, it's evil. It is not real, it's not authentic, it's not of good energy. They're basically projecting you back onto you, and they're using your energy to be able to do that. And when they get too tired, when they get fatigued, like when they cannot keep that front going anymore, they're going to begin to punish you for it. All right. So look at the love bomb for what it is. But when you're just now in that place where you're starting to realize, okay, something's not right, right? Like you go on a fact finding mission. You are going to have times of rumination. It's natural. You're going to have times where you're ruminating and you're asking yourself questions and you're trying to figure out, what is this? Who was the person that I first met and what happened to him? What changed? Was it me? What did I do wrong? Like what about the situation changed? We used to get along so good. Now all the stuff that I do that they claim that they like so much, it's bugging them. All of a sudden they don't like the way I smell. All of a sudden they don't like the way I dress. All of a sudden my cooking isn't as good as it once was, but nothing has changed. But in a sense it is, because this negative situation is wearing on you, right? So that's definitely like present on your energy. Like that's really real. But even more than that, you never had a chance. Whatever you said, whatever you did, whatever you wore, however you smelled, whatever you cooked, it was going to be an issue no matter what from the jump. Like from the beginning, it was like a stage play. It was a farce. It was an act. It was a game. And it still is. But that doesn't mean that you can't get right in the situation. It's, again, easier said than done. I'm aware of that. I'm not just in front of this camera making these videos just because, like, I've been through it. Like, I understand exactly what it takes, but I also understand that all of our situations are different. Our walks of life are different. Our levels of like life experience and our access to resources and support systems are all different. Like, I get all that. I factor all of that stuff in, you know, when I discuss these topics. But I just want you to know that you're not by yourself and that we don't have to compete about it. Your situation isn't necessarily bigger or smaller. I'm not above or beneath anyone. I'm just here to connect with you. I just want you to know, like, and understand the situation that you're in so that you could own it, so that you could walk in it, so that you can maneuver within it, so that you can find your way in no contact. Because that's always the goal. Like, that's exactly where we want to be. We want to get in no contact and we want to stay in no contact. All right. Once they begin to want to punish you for having to manipulate you into liking them because they were never secure enough to think that you would want to be close to them or want to get to know them or want to connect with them based on who they really are. Like they don't even like themselves. They know you ain't gonna like them. They don't even like them. So they know that you aren't gonna like them. They already knew that. It's gonna come a point where you're gonna begin to tell these people no. Like, and you gotta be ready. Like, because again, no narc is created equal. I can't say exactly to what lengths or what lows they're willing to go, but I don't put anything past these people. That's what makes them so slippery and kind of difficult to deal with. I could pretty much guarantee that the lows and the lengths that they're willing to go to like hurt you or to manipulate you or to keep a lie going or to, connect with another source of supply or to paint a narrative or to begin smearing you, like the lows they're willing to go, like it's beyond you. That's why everything seems so confusing all the time. Because it's a game that they're playing. When you tell this toxic and narcissistic person no, even if they do have another source of supply, like at the ready, like, because they always got others, like it's never just been you. And you know that. You know that. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm not trying to trigger you, but as you always know, you always kind of had that feeling that something was off. You may not have necessarily known what it was, but you knew something was off. You know what I mean? They've always had other sources, but it's levels, right? Some people they're still vetting. Some people like they're in like a funny long-term thing with. Some people that they're connected to that they consider sources of supply, like they travel for work or they live abroad or they went to college together, but they're not necessarily in the same place, but they're still connected to each other. Like sometimes they have a supply that's right there, that's been ready, that's been there the whole time. When you start to tell them no, like, this is what I call the punishment business. If you haven't had an opportunity to check it out already, I'll make sure that I tag it somewhere in the video. The Narc, the new supply, and the punishment business. This is what I call the punishment business. They can't get to your energy. They can't get to your resources. They're going to control you in other ways. They're going to start doing things to make your life difficult. They're going to start to manipulate you. They're already smearing you to other people. They already got you like looking crazy. When you go around certain people, you in certain circles, like people treat you weird, people whispering, people like you don't understand the energy that you feel. And that's because they've been smearing you. Or you dealing with somebody who the people who are around, they know them. Think how many times you've been at a function, an outing, a cookout, a get together where you were there with mostly their people. Like that's what they like. That's what they like. Drop a comment down in the comment section if you know exactly what I'm talking about. There weren't nearly as many functions or get-togethers where it was mostly your people and then them, the toxic and narcissistic person in your life. There weren't nearly as many of those as there were functions and get-togethers where you were mostly with their people, their family, people that they know, their exes, their kids, other parent, like their old family friends, like their coworkers. Like there were a lot more of those probably. Those are surroundings that they're more familiar in and that they're more comfortable in. They can control the narratives better. They know what's been said because they're the ones that have been saying it. Like they all know each other. Like they know what's going on. So it sets you up to feel like you're in a situation where everybody knows something but you, or you're the last person to know. Who wants to be in a situation where they're the last person to know something, especially something that so like directly affects them or impacts them, but everybody knows something but you. Like it's a couple pieces missing to the puzzle and everybody can see the full picture but you. Like it's a vulnerable and it's an awkward and uncomfortable, uneasy situation to be in. But they thrive on that. They getting a supercharge from this. It's like somebody gave them a jump. It's like somebody gave them a jump. They love it. This is like triangulation on triangulation. Like crazy energy. When it comes to a point where you start to tell this person, like, you're like, no, I don't want to do this no more. It doesn't feel right. Like you're not accepting their physical advances. You're not looking to be physically close to them. You don't want to be. You don't feel comfortable with them. You don't feel intimately close. You got too many unanswered questions. Too many red flags are going off in front of your face. Like you're trying to find acceptance about it, but you're battling with that part of yourself that questions you. That's the toughest part. The loss of trust within yourself. And it forces you to ruminate. It makes you ask all these questions. And you're so busy trying to get right back within yourself, trying to make like mind, body, and soul and everything line up. Like you're so busy trying to make everything that's going on around you make sense that like you're not seeing what's right in front of you. And what's right in front of you is that you're being manipulated. You being played. They playing in your face. Like they're like you being played right now. I don't know how many they exes at this cookout. Some of them even know each other and is cool with each other. I don't know how many supply sources is walking around at this barbecue that you at. While you in here eating these people food, kikiing and laughing with these people. Whole time, like, you being made a fool of. Like, you're like a spectacle at the get together. You feeling energy. Some people giving you like petty nice, like, oh, and this is like, well, like, that ain't your energy, so it don't even fit. It don't make sense to you. You like, why am I getting awe from people? Like, what is this? It's because they're smearing you. That's why. Wake up. They're smearing you. That's why. So when you finally get tired of it, you ready to stand up for yourself, you ready to be heard, like you're ready to be taken seriously, and you start to tell them no to their physical access to you, starting to put your boundaries up and like want to stand on those, be ready for the blowback. They're not going to like that. They got other sources of supply around. They're going to take advantage of that. They're going to rub that in your face. They're going to start doing just crazy, uncharacteristic things. Don't be surprised if it's unannounced visits and weird pop-ups at your house, and you finding weird stuff in your refrigerator when you get home from work, and that's assuming that you all are cohabitating. But if you're cohabitating, they definitely going to sting you. Like, they're going to look to sting you. Gonna look to lock you out of the house when they inside of the house. Like, they gonna start playing manipulative games. The toxic and narcissistic person that I was dealing with would take my stuff and hide it. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm pretty meticulous. I know where I leave stuff. I'm detail oriented. Like, I know where I left certain things, especially when it's stuff that I use every day. They would take that stuff and like set it other places and move it around, and hoping that I would ask, but I wouldn't, because I was just like, nah, I'm good. It don't even matter. I kind of got to the point where it was like, whatever. I'm working towards a goal. I'm living towards a goal right now. In a minute, I ain't going to be in here. It ain't going to matter. I'm getting up out of here. I'm making changes. I'll be able to set my life up exactly how I want it. I'll be able to do stuff how I want it. I'm just going to ride this out. Make sure, you know what I mean? I don't get played. Make sure I don't get manipulated. Make sure I don't find myself in a situation where my freedom or somebody's health is being threatened. Like, I'm going to keep my head on straight. It was hard. I'm going to tell you, it was hard. All right. It was very difficult when someone is deliberately pushing, because that's the thing. You got to understand that too. That comes with telling them no. The more you pull back, the more they're going to push. The more you don't give a reaction, the more they're going to seek a reaction. You got to be aware of that too. Again, this goes back to them feeling like a lot of times they're steps ahead. You gotta get around that. You got to understand what it is that you're dealing with. You got to sit back and observe. I don't recommend like you deliberately doing things to provoke them, or anybody for that matter. Because like I said, we don't want to take on their characteristics. We want to be able to identify those traits in people, but we don't want to take that on. But at the same time, we ain't going to let nobody play with us. So definitely protect yourself. Definitely protect yourself. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Don't let nobody play with you. But don't let anybody bait you either. The more you pull back, the more they're going to push. When you do not give them a reaction, they're going to look to get that reaction. If they cannot control you, control your energy, and maneuver you around, they're going to start messing with you psychologically. They're going to start to mess with your credibility, and they're going to begin to mess with your reputation. But my mindset about that is, anybody who believes it off top, it's just a filter. Let them have it. You can have it. You can believe whatever you want to believe about me. If that's what you think is true, bet. You can have it. But just know, you cannot just tell a toxic or narcissistic person no. Usually they're not just going to willfully like just kick back and accept that. Usually there's going to be some blowback about it. So you got to be ready for that. So that's why we talking about it now. That's a part of it. Just calling it out. Not so that you're overthinking it so that it has to take over your life, but you could be like, okay, bet. Me and Biz, we talked about that. We talked about how when you tell toxic and narcissistic people no, they don't accept it well. And I would just say, even in your day-to-day life, be on the lookout for that. When you really love people and they love you, when people care about you, you care about them. When people respect you, you could tell them no. When you respect people, they could tell you no. You may not like it. It may not feel good. You might be disappointed. You may have been expecting them to be there for you in that way, but you shouldn't lose love or respect for somebody for the most part just because they have to say no to something. Like, you respect it. You feel me? You should be able to say no to people that you care about. If you got a toxic or narcissistic person in your life, like, be on the lookout for that bright red flag. Like, you can never tell them no. And they don't ever apologize. Never, 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 ever, never, 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 never. They're never going to apologize. Not even if it's disingenuous. They just don't want to do it. And if you do have some that'll put together a backhanded, I'm sorry you felt like that piece of apology, they don't mean it. They don't mean it. They don't mean it at all, and they're just going to punish you later. So don't you worry about it. But be ready. Be ready. Be ready. And let me know. Drop it down in the comment section. Share your experience with us. We could revisit this if necessary. If you have questions, concerns, recommendations on a topic, let me know. Drop it down in the comment section. Let me know how it went. And like I said, be clear on your boundaries. Be clear on what you are looking to accomplish. You're going to begin preparing yourself because you understand that moving into no contact is the goal, and that's the whole purpose. We're not telling them no just to provoke them or just to upset them. This is about strategy. It's about planning. It's about protection of your peace, but also beginning your healing journey in a healthy way. And in order to do that, you got to create distance. You cannot allow them access to your resources the same. You can't allow them access to your presence the same. Not to mention, at this point, the more you start to see, you understand how dangerous that is, because you're not just dealing with them now. You're dealing with everybody that they deal with, and all the energies and all the lies and all the manipulations and all the games and all the promise making and all the future faking and negativity that they got going on in the world that they live in. That's going to start to spill over onto you if you don't find yourself in that wilderness and create that distance for yourself safely. It's going to be a little messy. And it's going to feel like sometimes you don't have many people that you could talk to about it, but that's why we're here. And that's why we're building community, and we could talk about it. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll throw my Instagram up here on the screen as well. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Like I said, you're not alone. Like, you don't have to deal with it on your own. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out, but be ready. Be ready for the bull. When you begin to tell your toxic and narcissistic person, no, it's coming. Be ready.